Hey, good morning everyone. This is Binoy and P9 Life's Journeys. Today my wife and I are going to the Action Martial Arts Extravaganza Mega event. This is at the Tropicana Hotel in Atlantic City. They have it every time in January. Just a few years I have missed out because of COVID and some other years, but we're going to go here and see who we meet. I would say this event is like a child going to Toys R Us. Every martial arts enthusiasts or practitioners here, as well as teachers, gurus, crews, and any other title you want to see. Here we have Jonas Nunez, old school, who's under the ministry of Nicky Cruz, and Nicky Cruz is under the ministry of David Wilkerson. I'd like to introduce yourself to him.
Okay, Kyoshi Jonas Nunez, 9th degree black belt, Okinawan Shinryu Karate Do. I am the CEO of America's Finest Mixed Martial Arts. I own 10 martial arts schools on the East Coast and 5 gym franchises, New Jersey Fitness.
That is one impressive record. But the most impressive thing is he's a brother in Christ. And he uses the martial arts world in order to introduce people to Christ. There's a lot of Christians in the martial arts.
You see my back? All right, that's the message that I preach. I preach the gospel here because, you know, in the martial arts, a lot of guys are high ranks, have red belts and all this and that. And, you know, there's a lot of ego in anything, any sports, anything that's illegal. But you know what? I want to let people know who the #1 man is, and it's Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ saved my life, took my life. I was a gang member, and I heard the preaching of Nicky Cruz. I was on my way to go shoot somebody, and Nicky Cruz was preaching out in a church called John 3:16. You know, wow. And in Westchester Avenue in the Bronx, he had the speakers outside preaching, and I'm hearing this guy preaching about my life and how he was a leader of the Mau Mau's, gang member, and how he used to stab people with his umbrella. He was the original umbrella man. And then I heard that, and I went, and almost like a miraculous thing, I went outside listening to, it was actually a youth rally, so I went out there and started peeking in, listening, and all of a sudden I was just floated in. The ushers brought me in. Long story short, started making an altar call, and he goes, "Wait a minute!" And he starts looking up in the air, and he goes, "Wait a minute!" And I said, "Like, this guy's freaking out. He's talking in the air now." So I start sneaking out of the revival meeting, and he calls my name, and he goes, "Jonas," and I go, "How does he know my name?" And I turned around, and he goes, "Please come down." So I come up on stage. So I went up on stage, and he goes, "Can I pray for you?" He goes, as I'm ready to give the altar call, God pulled down the screen, like a movie screen, and so he goes, "You're on your way to shoot somebody and kill somebody, but in that gunfight, you're going to get shot too. God wants you to know that he has a plan for your life." He put his hands on me. I felt shocks go through my body, fell on the floor, started vomiting. Later on, I knew what it was. I let everything out. He mentored me. He brought me to a spiritual father at Times Square Church, Pastor David Wilkerson, who mentored me, and him and all the pastors, Pastor Carter Conlon, Pastor Tim Galina, and they mentored me, and I changed my life, went to 360. And did God have a plan for my life? Absolutely. Today, I'm a proud grandfather of 7 grandkids, 2 beautiful daughters, 10 martial arts schools, and 5 gyms. And it keeps better and better and better. And I'm still competing. I'm at 64 years of age. Today, I won the first place in Masters Forms, Masters Weapons. I'm competing tomorrow at the Battle of the Dragons. God had a plan for my life, and he has a plan for your life.
As you heard his brother, his plan for his life, God, he was on his way to do something that was evil. God turned me around for good. Thank God, I'm 63, he's 64, so we're all from the same school here.
Old school, old school.
We're old school, but he rejuvenates our bodies too. He rejuvenates our minds. So I want to thank you so very much.
God bless you, my brother.
Great interview. Thank you so very much.
God bless. Keep Jesus first in your life.
Here we have a real medieval contest. Woo! They're going at it. Can you imagine being on the battlefield during those days? Basically, they're just going at it. Hopefully for an opening. But there is something to it. There is some skill. Absolutely. Can you imagine that blade coming across your head, on your neck, on one of your limbs? Gave him a shield smack. You know, check out his shirt. And my shirt?
Yeah.
Is this your first time here? You've been here a couple of years?
No,
or?
this is my first time. My brother wanted me to go, and I said, you know what, I'll go out. It's been a long time since I've been to any type of demonstrations, and I kind of miss it. I used to go when I was a lot younger.
I really hope he does. It's in our blood. We have interruptions in life, but you know, we still have that yearning inside of us. So it's really something else for your fitness as well as anything else. So my pleasure meeting you, sir.
Pleasure meeting
you.
you.
All right.
See you.
See you. Thank you so very much. The smaller guys should stay low. Yeah, stay low. There you go. I'm glad they incorporated some of the MMA in here. Nice slam. Hey, your turn, sir? You got it? Here I have Ruben, a fellow practitioner of the martial arts. He is definitely old school, and I would say he's one of the generals. He started way back in the early 60s. It's a really honor and pleasure to meet him, because you have people who are known, but you got the other people who are just as good that is not well known. But he's back in the days where you really hit. You better know what you're doing, no matter what you were doing.
Yeah, I grew up in Newark, New Jersey. In 1962, at the age of 7, I started with Grandmaster Bill Wilson, who was the founder of Goshi Shun Karate. Master Wilson is responsible for, I would have to say, the majority of all the black belts that came out of Newark. You had James Fame, Frederick Godfrey, a lot of people. We went on and formed our own schools and eventually had our own students, but they all came from one root, and that was Grandmaster Bill Wilson.
Did they ever have a friendly, so-called friendly competition with the gentlemen or the practitioners from New York?
All the time. And the big debate was who was better, New York or Jersey. Being in New Jersey, and I'm going to have to go with New Jersey. We put out some of the best fighters. Techniques and fighting styles were different. Although they were steeped in tradition, they still were able to have open-mindedness to study other styles, to combine them. One of the things that Grandmaster Wilson and Master Bowes and Grandmaster Godfrey taught us all the time and repeated it over and over and over. It's okay to go out and train in other styles. That's what you want to do. You want to learn Kung Fu, you want to learn boxing, wrestling, whatever it is. Bring it back. Teach it to us. And we put that in our toolbox.
That was also the uniqueness of Ed Parker and Danny DeSanto. They were not afraid to say, hey, go learn some other things, because back then, each one held their own art sort of secretly, or they didn't want to learn it, but they were part of this movement.
Well, the reason for that, I think, is because they realize that here in America, people fight differently. Not everybody's going to throw a punch the way you expect them to throw it, or kick, whatever it is. So you have to learn to adapt.
We're also considered headhunters.
Right.
Whereas in Asia, they're more for the body.
Develop systems that were geared for the street. Like I said before, I am an original Ninja Turtle. People laugh at that and oh, come on, that's a comic book. Well, yeah, it's a comic book, but we were first. Grandmaster Frederick Godfrey and Ed Bowes got together and put together the system called Ninja Turtle. Master Godfrey had Ninja Roo. Ed Bowes created what he called the snapping turtle or turtle tactic. Well, because he had polio, so he really didn't have too much use for his legs, so he kind of waddled like a turtle, and he would always study them.
That's very deceptive.
Yeah, and so he based it on using the turtle pinches, the bites, and all that, and then it evolved to what he was learning with the karate, and put that together. So they both got together and did that. Grandmaster Godfrey called it ninjaroo for the simple fact that he didn't care if it looked pretty or not. If you watch a real ninja fight or what they do, they don't do the same thing over and over, and it's not pretty. It's just basic stuff that they shoot out, and it's effective. He liked the way they looked when they fought, so he said, I'm going to call that ninjaroo. But all it really was an advanced form or an extended form of Goshishan, because his teacher was Bill Wilson also. So it was just happened that I had Bill Wilson first. He already had Bill Wilson, studied with him for 5 years before me. And then when we got together, it turns out, hey, who's your teacher? Bill Wilson. Who's yours? Bill Wilson. Small world. So that's why I say that a lot of the black folks came out of Bill Wilson.
Now, did a lot of them learn it from, it was common back then that they served, and they served overseas,
yes.
They would learn from them and bring it back home.
Right, because what happened was Grandmaster Wilson studied in Okinawa during the Korean War, studied in Okinawa, Korea, and Japan. So all that whole time in those areas, when we finally got home, he took them all and put them all together and created what we call Goshishan. He became acknowledged as the only Grandmaster of Goshishan in the United States, and it's blossomed. But a lot of the black belts from him have gone on to open up other schools, but don't use the name Goshishan, if that's what they teach. And they mix it with Taekwondo, Kung Fu. Some schools have Goshishan Taekwondo. Some have, I call mine Ninjaroo Goshishan, as a respect to him and to Fred. But I also teach turtle. To get back to the turtle thing, we became well known in the early 70s as the Ninja Turtles. He can tell you. My boy Ed right here. And
turtle style is also in Indonesia and Silat style.
Right.
There is a turtle.
So, well, we spelled it Turtull, turtle. So it became well known on the tournament scene and everything. We were on TV doing shows and whatnot, demos. What happened was, from what I understand, we used to go to Massachusetts a lot to compete. Happened to be two guys there who were very good friends with the promoter, who just happened to be comic book illustrators. They'd always sketch the guys that were fighting or competing. They liked four of the guys from our school. And one night in a session of trying to come up with a new comic book, they got drunk, and the one guy said to him, drew a turtle doing karate. So he said, hey, what do you think about this? A turtle that does karate. He goes, what about if we make him look like a ninja? So they put the ninja outfit on him. They go, oh, cool, a ninja turtle. Yeah, but how old is he? He's a teenager, you know. So that's how this story evolved. But the story about them coming up from the sewers of New York City, that's our story. We came up from the street of Newark and East Orange. Cartoon, when the cartoons hit, Master Bowles tried to sue him, for some of the money. But what happened was the judge said, there's only two words in that whole title that's keeping you from collecting. And he's like, what's that? Teenage Mutant.
Wow.
Because Teenage Mutant was before Ninja Turtle. That's
right.
why.
They didn't really have that name.
Right. So what happened now, Master Bowles is actually working on a new lawsuit. He's got a lawyer that found a loophole. So they're working on that. So, because we still can prove we were the originals. We got the certificates with the logo and everything else with it. So good lighting though, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Now we're going to Kali. That's what I've been waiting for. There's a lot of them here. Apollo here. Alex is here. A lot of the heavy-duty Filipino guys here for the Kali. I got to look at this. I need to see what's going on here. What I've been missing for so long. All the Kali people are here. So what do you want to do? And then what's the next move?
Yeah.
And then, and then,
All right. Strike.
strike, and then across.
Okay. Take that foot out. He's not getting back.
A great moment with Professor James and his seafood understudy or trainee is Kenny, and they're in Brooklyn, New York. You'll see him on YouTube channel if you look up for V Jiu-Jitsu, and they are fantastic. For those who don't know anything about self-defense or martial arts or self-protection, they are perfect. And it was a pleasure meeting them. I showed a picture of them, and oh, it was just a joy to meet them. Thank you so very much.